Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another H-Powers 4 replay. Spawn on the left side as the Cyan Ottomans with CrackedyHere, or CrackedyHere. CrackedyHere. On the bottom right side as the red French, we have Liquid.DeMu. Let's see, Ottomans versus French. The French don't get any real economic benefits until they get into Castle Age, where they get 25% or 20% unit discount. In which they do also get free melee blacksmith upgrade, which is less important than, say, the range. And compared to Ottomans, we do of course have access to the free units. They don't have to kind of refine all the additional resources. They can get free units directly to military schools. And they can also get some additional mining through this Anatolian Hills Vizier. If I would make a bold assumption, I think the French will have a little bit offhand, since they have real no benefits other than just rely on their high quality royal knights in feudal age. Of course, the Ottoman player just needs to get out some spearmen. He'd generally be fine against them. Then it comes down to the archer play. I think the French will definitely have to go for the traditional royal knight archer. The Ottomans may want to go for maybe Spearman Sipahi. Sipahis are high quality horsemen. It'd be useful to try to rush down those archers, and the Spearman could just be a move forward. Mixing archers in that mix as well wouldn't hurt as well. We got some stone being collected up as well. That may... Oh, he has not gotten a military school just yet, like most Ottoman players generally do. So you may be eyeing for additional town centers. Of course, got a school of cavalry now being deployed on the field. Both players have now reached the next stage. We're now collecting up those berries, stone being collected up, so is gold. Scouting around. We do have a royal knight in the field, but just the one. Give the French then to go for additional town center, like you can see here with the amount of stone being collected. They still tend to go for one or two royal knights, just apply a bit of pressure. Royal knight and scout moving around. The villagers collecting stone has been withdrawn. He is eyeing for military schools, not eyeing for additional town center. So the French player, if he's able to maintain the aggression, then he will keep his opponent corralled in his home, allowing him to boom up on the additional town center he's definitely eyeing. He's pretty close to getting enough stone for a town center, as well as wood. The town center, of course, does cost 400 to 350. Blacksmith going up as well. He's going for the free Sipahi. Also going for free spearmen would be half bad. Right now the free spearmen about one every minute, which basically means it's about 20 resources per minute each one of these military schools providing, barring the need to take time to refine the resources into units. Spearmen now advancing on forward. Bit of damage there, nothing too significant. Eyeing for a bit of palisade walls. Does have barracks on the field as well for regular spearman production. Looks like he's gonna eye just for spearmen, just for defense, and then run military schools for the Sipahi for aggression. We do have a stable coming on out. Walls going up. He will torch down that single wall segment there, allowing the Royal Knight to charge it forward, and one hit there, and dead. Very good 1-2 hit. We're torching down that damaged wall as well. You now have the survival techniques to be researched on out. Spear being pushed the way forward. See that bit of a glow there? It's just from the metro nearby. And Spearmen do ward away these forces. Scout in this region. We do have archery just being deployed in the field. Additional town center being Put out at the forest puppers. There are 12 villagers here, so you quickly consume all of those deer. And it's actually more deer down here next to this trade post, which could mean a bit of a safer trade post location. Especially if the French player goes for the Red Palace in order to get out an Arbalist. Sabahi and Metro's not being pulled on the field. And we got those guys screaming like that. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. I think the Royal Knight and the villagers are eyeing for the boar. The Spahi, one Meter, one scout in this region. These villagers are all pretty exposed here at the moment. Doesn't have any Royal Knights in this region. And Spahi, late response here, does go straight on in, does pick off one of the villagers there. Another one will go down, he does have Fortitude activated. Goes off the reinforcing villager there, so it does kill off 3 of the villagers, very good. Or it does still have a slight advantage with the additional village there. And look at the, let's take a quick look at the map. Look at the wood deposits you can see here. The wood is in a very controllable area where you can incorporate that into its walls. And look at that, that's actually pretty dense right there as well. We actually overspent on his wood, on his palisade walls there. But he does have quite a bit of area now nice and secure. The trade post is a bit open to contestation if he does go for traders later on. And look at the map as well. Something... Look at the gold placements as well. We do got a gold placement here, here, and then here. But Ottomans are all in this corner. Looks like the Ottomans have additional gold deposit on his side of the map. So that is a bit of a problem for the French player. The French player does have... Oh wait. There's another gold deposit right there, so... Never mind. So there's 2 gold deposits in the sphere of influence. The palisade walls are absorbing quite a bit of damage right there. A couple of villagers being brought on back in order to repair up the palisade wall. And the palisade wall will go on up. Royal Knight singular advancing forward. Another one in tow. There's a good number of archers here. Scout getting some damage there. Royal Knight being focused down. He actually used the Fortitude ability there in order to quickly pick off that Royal Knight. That was one of the few times you see Fortitude used on a melee unit, and it was successful. There's just too many archers in this region. He needs more knights or horsemen to hold back the Spahi. Spearman, of course, will be ideal, but he does not appear to have a barracks at the moment. Dago being pursued. We've got a good number of Spahi deployed out on the field by the Ottomans. And these archers are just not going to be useful. Got some Vizier deployed out and selected. He has gone for the Meter, so there's that one Meter there. And now has increased military school capacity as well. He could go for some Janissaries and feudal wage if needed as well. Eventually. This is why he advances on forward. He does not have an outpost in this region, so he has a big blind spot there. And we've got a good number of archers here. Takes a bit of damage there. Looks like a couple of villagers do go down almost instantaneously. The French may not have textiles research. No, it does not. The French still has more villagers, 10 additional villagers. Nearly either you want to do 25% more. The Ottomans have, or 33% more, or 25% less, depending which angle we look at it. Those probably right now are 25 to 20%. Good number of the Spahi are very damaged, but we do have some archers being thrown on the field. What he needs actually is a spearman. And the Royal Knights do find opportunity there onto these spearmen, which he actually does need to keep those alive. Good hit there. Does force back a large number of these forces as well. The French need spearmen. He's getting some more Royal Knights in queue. More than half of them over here at the moment. There may be an opportunity for him to raid some of these units there. Nope. Try to go for Sapahi. Some exposed villagers there, but he's not pushing forward in this region. Looks like these Royal Knights are going to be pursued to the ends of the earth, which is located right there. See a bit more fire. Zog-Doggo now trying to bite some of those Sipahi. These units are still running around. He's still doing a good job of distracting his opponent's entire army, but these Royal Knights would be a very large loss. Oh, welcome. I try to cast when it comes to weekdays, 5 Eastern Standard Time. On weekends, 3 Eastern Standard Time. Sipahi still trying to overrun these Royal Knights. They have to have the increased speed move there thanks to his Meteor, so they have a really high movement speed there. Does put up the Royal Knights there. He's just going to try to save this one. Even saving the Scout is also important as well. So there's a lot of shrubbery on this map. Sipahi still having trouble gauging the Royal Knight. We do actually have a barracks here, getting out a handful of spearmen, which will be very handy. As pushing, he does fall back there. He does save that Royal Knight as well. Very good. Right now, the Ottoman player has 59 military units. The French have 42. He does have, of course, additional villagers going from melee armor. These walls will not last very long, to say the least. The boar here has been completely consumed, which is good. And now it's, and also the deer as well. He's eyeing for those berries. Not exactly a great source of food, in my opinion. They're more just an intermediate source of food. Of course, you need to start getting out. He does not have enough wood to start transitioning to farms. Starting to charge forward with multiple small groups. Does get a nice little charge attack there. The Ottoman player does get out batting ram. The Vizier has been selected. Could it be for Janissaries? He does get out his Janissaries, and since he has 3 military schools probably, as well as a primary town center, that should be 8 Janissaries now being pushed on forward, which is going to be very, very deadly. More batteries being pulled on the field. You got a nice line formation there. A handful of spearmen wouldn't hurt. He's just going for a bit more of everything, which is good. Maintains a villager queue. Minimal villager queue, if I may add. You may not have a macro for the villagers. But also, maybe cutting back the villager production right now may be necessary because he knows this one has a massive force. Battery rams. So you've got a force of 79 versus 68. Higher quality for the Ottomans, though granted 500 of that is in the battery rams. And battery rams only really useful if this force is not alive. You do have, of course, a good number of Janissaries here. The archer needs to focus on those Janissaries. I wonder if he sees them. It's 8 small models in entire formation. Okay, he definitely hears the gunfire now. The Royal Knights are now probably charging forward the archers. Some of the Janissaries are getting picked off, just good. Spearmen now connecting. Sipahi charging forward, Royal Knights charging forward. Banners will take up the barracks there. Archers engaging, hopefully they'll focus firing something. Just not the Sipahi, they have anything but Sipahi, basically. Banners do force clean through that barracks, no problem. The French does get enough archers on the field. The military forces on both sides are still quite even, which is actually, the French have lost their front line. Does get some damage there. Second town center starting to go down. That is expendable since it still has a primary town center. Archers just move forward into range of supply, which is not good. Spearmen do charge up forward as well. Archers started stepping away. It do has some pierce damage. They also got pierce damage armor over here, as well as hack damage for the Ottoman. While the French has gotten all the research. Single Royal Knight rushes his way forward. A couple Janissaries still alive, quickly taking out those Royal Knights. Auto Blobs versus Big Blue Bob. Historically one of the interesting matchups because they had an alliance, and yes, I think they had an alliance, though it's always a little bit iffy. When did the Crimean War happen? But the France one was in the Crimean War. That was the English. Villagers now garrison inside the town center there. Sipahi getting a bit of damage there on those archers. The French back line starting to disintegrate. He needs to keep these archers alive. So Sipahi are very, very wounded, so that even archers not close threat to them. He does take out some more infrastructure here, but right now he doesn't have the income to support that infrastructure. And there goes all the Sipahi. Now it's just the battering rams, and the villagers do get out of outside the garrisons, and he looks like he may save this archer range. He decides to pull back. The battering rams should just stay there. And we do have, of course, it was evened out. Both sides lost a significant amount of force. He did lose additional town center, but he's still ahead in villagers. Has his gold deposit over here being cleaned on up. His primary one down here is gone. And his wood is being cleaned as well. This wood is probably get cleaned up as well. Luckily, he has good wood deposits over here. More archers being pulled on the field. Meter, I'm not sure if that's the same meter or a different meter. Notice exotic doggo does go down. Forest puppers being cleaned up by Cyan. There's 13 villagers there. Earlier than Crimean War, 1500s, 1600s, French had an alliance with the Ottomans. How do you pronounce that word? Caused by mutual enemy in the Habsburgs. Yeah, that makes sense. It always comes down to royal alliances, doesn't it? What's it called? The Council of Europe. If one empire gets too strong, the others will gang up on them. And if one is too weak, then multiple empires try to attack on them, that will also leave them vulnerable to other empires. Let's get a line of palisade walls up here. Trying to clean up these forest puppers now. That's while he may be able to make a breakthrough. We'll take a bit of time to force down some of these walls. Palisade wall is taking a bit of damage. Of course, there's enough villagers in the region to repair it up. We may just want to only send the Royal Knights in this region. Everything else is more than plenty to not be in the region. Also, Royal Knights do move faster than archers and spearmen. After all, hooves are better than feet. Or knives shanking a horse that can do some good work as well. We do have another vizier now available, which he has gone for the increased military school production. More batteries been going on field. Both players not buying for next age just yet. The French has enough gold to know next age. Just needs a lot more food. That's what the gold deposit being claimed. Could perhaps keep an archer or a spearman or two in there just in case. Yep. I just know that alliances in Europe are much more fluid and changeable and not very stable. All depends who is the strongest and who is exerting too much strength. We got a sizable force here. Both sides pull out a good number of archers. Ottomans have right now 67 archers versus the French 40. So 18 spearmen to no spearmen. So the Royal Knights are going to be very useful in this fight. He does have 13. There's 15 Sipahi on the field. The Ottoman player does have a larger military force sphere. The military quality is actually the same, just minus the cost of these battering rams. Though it'll still be slightly favorable to the Ottomans. Batteries start pushing forward, destroying cones. It will destroy some infrastructure here. Okay, see the hidden Imperial army trying to age up in the middle of this. The French are still pretty far behind on food. Force puppers complain. In fact, he's out of additional natural food sources I see on the mini-map. Let's force back all of these battery ram there. These villagers need to be tasked on wood as much as they can. Does have a couple food sources going. Has 13 villagers on food, but I only see the 2 at the moment. There's some more farms there. We need to start really eyeing for a heavy amount of wood. And so right now, the French player is just not in a good position. Based on just natural resources alone. You got the force puppers almost consumed by the Ottomans as well. And that's his last natural food source as well. He needs to start eyeing for a lot of wood himself. He's been spending a lot on those battering rams. Those 3 battering rams have gone down, which could have net him quite a bit of farms. And there is the next age. The Mangonels will be useful, of course. And now I do have the Royal Institute going on up. He doesn't have a lot of gold for making really good use of the Royal Institute, so maybe actually better to go for a guild hall. $16 Sipahi. Let's see now. Ottoman players on advanced forward. He has a population of 105. The French only has 102. He's throwing a massive number of villagers onto this keep. He's going to lose a good number of villagers. He does have a float of villagers compared to his opponent. Ugh. It's a nasty. Villagers need to be retasked everywhere. Does get 15 villagers inside the cap's keep right there. Good number of archers here. He does not have the veteran archer research and the pierce damage research has not come in yet. So he made an poor timing attack there. He should have waited until this research was complete. So now his archer's doing 9 damage, while him do 4 damage per arrow rather than just 1. So it made a bad timing attack for the Ottomans. He had a very small window and he did not take it. Now he's being pursued. The veteran Royal Knights are now complete. You have currently 18 archers here for the French versus the 30, or the 30 versus 38, but it looks like the French are starting to fall back. With a metric increased movement speed, these guys should be able to push forward pretty quickly, or backwards. You could actually garrison some of these archers inside the keep if the Ottoman archers advance too far forward. And the music suddenly stopped. More palisade walls going on up, trying to secure up this wood. He does have a full wood deposit inside his walls, and this one as well. The French has a wood deposit way down south if eventually is needed. And now he's going to start applying some Arbaletiers. Arbaletiers, at this point in time, they need upgrades. Their passives will be useful versus the veteran archers, that's for sure. They give them +5 pierce armor, combined with 2 inherent pierce armor, so it will give them what? Up to 7 pierce armor? Very good, but need some other research as well. A unit that more relies on their unique upgrades. Looks like the veteran Royal Knights will find opening there, or prevent a closing to happen. Thankfully forward, this palisade wall has not been repaired up there, so it has been set ablaze. Veteran archers not straight down to engage, does not have increased damage at the moment. So I have 8 damage to the veteran archers 9. Does have a second town center here as well, finding some fire support. This gold deposit has just been cleaned up as well. Villagers wood. He's going to lose a good number of them. That will greatly even up the village count. In fact, now Sion will start pulling ahead. So some of these villagers going down themselves. Crossbows been pulled off by the Ottoman as well. And more of these, looks like Imam does go down there. Sion has picked up 1 relic at the moment. His force is now going to try to break out through there. The village count is still in favor of Red, since Red has killed off some more villagers himself. There is a monastery here, which could be used, of course, to get out. Oh, there is a Mangonel there. Fires a shot there. He can quickly get that overran with a couple of Royal Knights. Does get out horsemen as well. Destroys his own walls there, so he can quickly advance out here. He does not have good spawnings here. Villagers now coming forward trying to torch down that Mangonel. They're going to get annihilated. And they get... They're only going to throw torches before they go down. That is a massive loss for Red. He does go and spread out his archers there. Mangonel finds some small hits. More Arbaletiers being put on field, but it's only the 5. He sees all the crossbows not being put on field. It's probably a good idea, guys. Going for regular horsemen now. His opponent has not put up Lancers, so his own Arbaletiers won't get any bonus damage. Just going to rely on their high qualityness. Eventually, later on, their high devotion research. Horsemen now advancing forward, trying to overrun that Mangonel, but they get intercepted by the various forces. French archer's now seeing some hits there. Does have some archers in the mix still. Zabahi now moving forward. Imam now falling on back. Nothing to engage the town center, so its arrows will start firing away against it at the end of time. Right now does find a small hit there in these archers. And red does back up the game now. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.